And good afternoon. I am glad you are all able to join us. For anyone who doesn't know, my name is Summer Hanslick and I am the director of the Canisius Fund. A fun fact, I actually helped plan the college's very first Giving Day back in 2016, which is hard to believe that we have been hosting Giving Day for that long now. And I am joined today by Matt Gorsica, the Assistant Director of the Canisius Fund. And I'm very excited to introduce Katrina and Taj, who are our incredible partners at GiveGab. GiveGab is the platform provider that we use each year for Giving Day. And it actually was co-founded by two Canisius grads, which I feel like is incredibly important to reiterate any chance that I have. And so we are just grateful for the continued partnership with them. And we are excited to talk about all things Giving Day. So one of the things that I wanted to take a moment to say is that Giving Day is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And many of you know this, for programs and institutes and athletics teams to take advantage of the day and really rally people together and raise support for your specific area. And over the years, it has been so incredible to see the programs and the professors and the staff that have come together and encourage students and donors to give back, and specifically to the respective area for which you're fundraising. And so we wanted to gather everyone together today and just go over some tips and tricks so that we can help you best be prepared to leverage the day and raise the most amount of money possible for your support area. So this is what will be covered today. We'll talk about securing program ambassadors and why they're important. We'll go through communication resources that we have available as a tool for you. We will talk about social media content that works and the ways to best use social media. And then our friends at GiveGab will talk about free agent fundraising, which is something rather new that will provide an additional way to leverage the day and raise money. And the one thing that I did want to point out that I'm super excited to share before we get too far in is that new this year, we are actually going to be awarding a cash prize, 3 cash prizes to the programs that finish the day with the most donors. So every year we have our leaderboards, which I'm sure most are familiar with. And we have donor leaderboards and dollar leaderboards. So the programs who have the most donors will always fall to the top, of course. And so knowing how much work gets put in from the programs and areas on campus, we just wanted to offer an extra incentive and just a prize. So we will be awarding $1,000 to the program with the most donors when Giving Day concludes at 11:59 on March 3rd. We'll be awarding $750 to the program that finishes second, and then $500 to the program that finishes third. So I hope that everyone is as excited about that as I am. I love Giving Day, and so we just want to be here to help you make it as successful as possible for your area. So the basics, here's what everyone needs to know. Giving Day is on March 3rd this year, and I did look through the list of those who registered for today's session, and most everyone on there has participated year after year, but for those who are new, it is a 24-hour online fundraising campaign. It is 100% virtual, which is fitting given the time that we're living in, and it is driven primarily by content online across all social media channels and via email. So it runs from 12 a.m. on March 3rd. And I always have people say, do people really make a gift at midnight? And my answer is yes, they do. Like I'll be checking at 1:30 and 2, and there are gifts being made. And so it'll run from 12 a.m. on March 3rd until 11:59 p.m. The theme this year is One Canisius. I think one of the most remarkable things for me, so like in talking to donors all throughout the year, is people call and they want to know how they can help. Giving Day is a wonderful way for all of the donors and friends who want to help to step forward and make a gift to support the area they love most. So the theme this year is coming together as a community, supporting what we love, and demonstrating the resilience and strength of Canisius during what has proven to be a very difficult year. So having said all of that, the first thing that we want to talk about is Giving Day program ambassadors. And so we refer to Giving Day ambassadors often. And essentially what a Giving Day ambassador is someone that you recruit, an alumni, current student, current faculty, adjunct faculty, staff members, and even friends of the program to help spread the word about Giving Day in your support area in particular. And the reason that this is so important is because the more people who are out there talking about the day and fundraising on your behalf, the more participation, the more donors, and the more dollars that you will have. And so when we're talking with program directors and they ask us, where do we go for ambassadors? These are the groups of people that we suggest starting with. If there's a graduate who has stayed incredibly closely connected, we encourage you to ask them to join as an ambassador. If you have current students who have risen to the top, who are very involved in a program specific club, they would make wonderful ambassadors for your program because they can speak directly on how that program has impacted them. Adjunct faculty, current full-time faculty, staff, those are all great groups for ambassadors. And we have an ambassador toolkit. So anyone who does say, yes, I want to fundraise for the New Buffalo Institute, count me in as an ambassador for that area, we then can provide you with what you need so that they have social media posts and graphics and whatnot to be advocating on behalf of your program on Giving Day and leading up to it. So we will talk a little bit more later in the presentation on some additional ways to leverage our ambassadors. But for now, I am actually going to turn it over to Matt Gorsiga, who is going to talk about social media content and some communication resources we have.
Thank you, Summer. So for my portion of this presentation, I'm really going to be talking about communication. And as Summer expressed, a lot of the momentum that is built around Giving Day is really focused in the virtual world, social media, some email communication. So in a sense, it's a very easy lift, but certainly what you are posting out there in certain content is really going to go farther for your support area. So the one thing that I want to make sure that I make known to you all is that we have, usually every year we have a toolkit that is made available to everyone that's promoting a specific support area on Canisius Giving Day. And this year we've kind of amped that up a little bit to be as specific and geared toward the internal community. So our academic programs, different institutes on campus, and our athletics teams. And that toolkit is really going to outline everything from a timeline from this very day up until Giving Day, and even the days after. We have some great pre-written social media posts. So literally it's simply copy and pasting onto Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and pushing out messages that way. But we also have some things just to kind of get your creativity flowing and content that you could be sharing really specific to your program and the impact that you have on students and our alums. So the first area that I'm going to talk about is our communication timeline. And really starting from today, the first step is tuning into this training session and kind of getting off to the races. So this is going to be just a snippet of the toolkit that we will share with you, and we're going to email this out tomorrow morning, so be on the lookout for that. I know you're all waiting with anticipation for this toolkit, so it'll be out tomorrow. But this is going to really spell things out for you as we inch closer to the day, and we are exactly 1 month away, March 3rd. So 4 weeks. It's gonna be here before we know it. The first tip that I really have for everyone is to really be following the college's main social media channels. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Make sure that you're following those channels because there might be content that we have ready to share that might be pertinent to your support area that you can give it a share and kind of widen your reach. But the other point that I want to make with social media is whether it's your personal social media account that you're going to be sharing from, or maybe it's a departmental Facebook page, Twitter page, make sure that your settings are public because as you're sharing content on that day, and be sure to tag, the Canisius College channel that you're on as well, we can actually be sharing that and kind of help widen your spread and get some extra attention for your support area. So as we get into this, that's the very first tip that I have for everyone is to make sure that your settings are public so that it's easy for us to share your content, but also be following the colleges and the alumni engagement office channels as well, because that's just going to make a big casting of a wide net for us to reach as many people as we can. And as we get closer to the day, you'll see February 24th, that is a week out from Giving Day. That is the day that we publish our annual Canisius Giving Day video. And that's going to be talking all about the One Canisius theme. We're going to be featuring some great students, and they're going to be speaking kind of what they learned this past year, having lived through COVID and how the Canisius community really supported them. So that's our big push, our big promotion. So be tuned in for that day because that will be a great opportunity for you to kind of kickstart the messaging that you're going to be sharing on that day. From there, I'm gonna kind of switch over to some content ideas for what you can be sharing. And these, I'm gonna start off just by kind of getting some creative juices flowing and have you all thinking about what are topics and areas that you could be focused on that's really going to drive engagement and folks to be making gifts in support of your area on campus. So there's two big takeaways in the fundraising world. You always want to show impact of where dollars are going and how they're invested. So, the first bullet point I have here is what specific activities, scholarship support, opportunities does your support area provide that Giving Day dollars will help fund? Where, in a sense, are people's gifts going to be going, and how are they going to be invested to impact the lives of current students? The other, and this is obviously a point because of what we're living in, but we saw countless alumni and friends of the college really step up and ask, how can I be helping students at this time? And the big takeaway and what has really been resonating with people is how your program is still managing to impact the lives of students as we all navigate COVID-19. What opportunities are you still able to provide? How are you making sure that a student's education is going uncompromised, even in this kind of chaotic time that we're living in? So that's something that's a little bit novel given the time that we're living in, but something that will really resonate with people. We're all living in a crazy time, but I think what's been true, and Summer made this point early on, we're a very supportive and resilient community. So kind of showcasing that will be really, really impactful for alumni and friends to want to support your area on campus. The other thing is that people give to people. So, I always am a big supporter of student faces, alumni success stories. How has your area on campus either set alumni up for their current success? That's a really great kind of thought process to have specifically for LinkedIn, which is a social media platform that runs, kind of this professional theme. How have we really pushed students to be their best and have the success that they have in their life now? But also, current students, because they're the ones that are directly impacted by the money that we raise on Giving Day. So, as we talked about those opportunities that you've still been able to provide students through COVID, what are the unique opportunities, whether they're internship opportunities or research opportunities, or simple ways that we're allowing students to live out our Jesuit mission and have kind of a deepened sense of self that when they do go out in the working world, they kind of stand out amongst the crowd. So we have these different bullet points, and obviously there's going to be some content in these pre-written social media posts that we'll supply you with. Um, but just kind of be thinking about those things and how you can feature students in your program, um, and really let them be the kind of the voice for the day. Um, what I will say is there's such a great opportunity for you to kind of mix what content you share. So we do have on here, have students take a selfie style video. It could be easy as grabbing your phone and just taking, a video and have them give a quick, 15-second testimonial. When we talk about what content to be sharing and how to share it, you don't need a film crew to come down to your office or, a fancy photographer. Those selfie style videos are really, really authentic and organic. And that will really resonate with people because it's going to show a student basically pulling out their phone and advocating for your support area. The All College Honors Program allowed me to take some really rigorous but eye-opening classes that really opened my mind and allowed me to be a critical thinker. And without that program, I don't know if I would kind of be the person that I am today. Or, campus ministry allowed me to go on this great winter service week immersion to Flint, Michigan. And I learned all about the water crisis that is still affecting this community years after. Um, and that changed me, and that has allowed me to, want to be an advocate for social justice. There's, simple photos that you could just grab of a student with kind of copy a quick quote. It's really, I don't want to undersell it and say it's a very easy process, but by no means do you have to feel intimidated by the content that you should be sharing on that day, because like I said, it's as simple as pulling out a smartphone and going from there. So what I will say is that, there's certain social media platforms like Instagram, for instance, that are very visually driven. So, could you have a student photo as a post with the caption being a quote from them? Throwing up a quick video on your Instagram stories that's that student directly speaking to alumni. That's a really great opportunity just to be getting that out there. And again, as you share those stories and that content, be sure to tag the Canisius College channels, because then we can retweet that, share it on Facebook, and it will be kind of just casting that net a little bit wider for you. So I do want to highlight just some past sample posts from previous campaigns, just to give you an idea. It's great to talk about this, but I feel like giving you the visual is really, really important as well. So here's some great posts. I love this post from the Institute for Global Engagement, which features a student. She's got her camera there. She went on a great trip, a great international trip, and talks about how this experience was really life-changing, something that she felt was afforded to her at Canisius, pushed her outside of her comfort zone, and gave her this really life-changing experience. Awesome. That's exactly what you want to try to be pushing for. And the nice thing will be, Summer talks about ambassadors and who you could be reaching out to be a cheerleader for your area. You'll have students like Gustavo, who's now an alumnus, but at the time of this giving day, he was a grad student here. And he just wrote a quick Twitter post where he says, this Canisius really feels like home to me. He's a native from Brazil, but talks about how through his undergrad years and being a part of the Canisius HISA program, how it feels like home. And that's just a simple, one sentence post with his picture that really showcases and pulls on the heartstrings of what Canisius really offers our students. So again, he tags the Canisius HISA program. that's something that is content that will be shared on your behalf. But again, you can be retweeting this and get that out there. I actually want to jump to the next slide. Thank you, Katrina. I love the post from Mark Harrington with the cohorts from the HESA program. You know, the more faces that are out there, the better. Because I do say people give to people. So it's putting a representation out there of where Giving Day dollars are going to go and how they're going to be impacting students on campus. I do want to call out Gene here as well. He's kind of like another Gustavo example. He was a student here, and he just talks about the opportunity being in the ULLC program at Canisius and how thankful he is for that. Again, just a very simple post. We were able to retweet this because he also used the Giving Day hashtags. So, you know, as I talk about following the college's main channels, be sure to be using those hashtags, Canisius Giving Day and One Canisius, in your posts. We do have a lot of people that tend to log on to Twitter and search the hashtag and just see all the content that's going on and the conversations that are having. But the nice thing that we'll also have as part of our Giving Day site is a tag board. So that pulls in anyone that's using these hashtags, and we'll have kind of a nice collage of all the social media posts that are out there. So, you know, even if somebody might not be following your department Facebook page, you know, they might be checking out that tag board and seeing, oh, you know, the journalism program is talking about these students that are now real live working journalists, and I want to support that. And they see it on the tag board, so they search out journalism and make a gift there. So, you know, certainly there's a lot of content that you could be directly pushing out, but there will also be a lot of indirect opportunities with alums that are advocating on your behalf, as well as students. And I would say I call out Gene, but it's really impactful. I speak about the All College Honors Program. They have had a great history of utilizing their e-board of students to advocate for the All College Honors Program. And a lot of them in previous years have utilized our free agent fundraising platform, which I'll have Katrina talk about in a moment. But that's a really great opportunity for students directly to be advocating on your behalf. And somebody like Gene is a really great example of that. So I'm gonna switch over now and give a quick, I think we have free agent fundraising up next. Before I turn it over to Katrina, I just wanna say that free agent fundraising is really another great step for your ambassadors to take. So, you know, ambassadors will get a toolkit as well with pre-written social media and different things that they could be thinking about what One Canisius means to them and how their program that they majored in impacted their life. But this free agent fundraising is going to really be an opportunity for them to create a mini campaign for themselves and set a dollar goal and advocate for the areas on campus that they love. So it's going to be something, Katrina's going to get into the details with that, but certainly a great opportunity for yourself to be a free agent fundraiser, colleagues in your area, as well as alumni that have stayed close and students that are immediately impacting or being impacted from your area. So with that, Katrina, I'm going to turn it back over to you and kind of get into the nitty gritty of free agent fundraising.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. I'm Katrina. I am the project manager for Canisius Giving Day here at GiveGab. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about what free agent fundraising is and exactly how to sign up and get your page up and running. So just like you might see a fundraiser on being shared on Facebook for a specific cause, or you might have a friend or family member who's running in a 5K and they have a personal goal and they're raising money that's specifically tied to their name. Well, that's exactly free agent fundraising. So free agent fundraising, it provides you an opportunity to create a mini campaign to raise funds for Canisius during Canisius Giving Day. And as a free agent fundraiser, you'll have your own fundraising page that's tied to just the Giving Day in general. You'll be able to set a personal fundraising goal, and you'll also be able to share why you're supporting Canisius Giving Day and spread the word to your own personal networks to maximize the reach of Canisius Giving Day. And the great thing about free agent fundraising is that it's not tied to a specific area, but it basically allows your supporters to give to any area on campus that means the most to them, while still having those gifts be contributed to your personal fundraising page. It's also just a really great way to share your own unique connection to Canisius with your friends, family, colleagues, and even former classmates if you're an alum, and encourage their support. So we find that it even generates a lot of really friendly competition on social media. You know, you can try to be the free agent fundraiser to raise the most money out of all the free agent fundraisers. But as you know, Summer mentioned, there's some prize funds available for the program that has the most donors. And this is a great way to encourage people to give to the support area that you're personally supporting, but through your free agent fundraiser profile. And so just a couple other benefits, kind of to summarize the benefits of free agent fundraising. Number one is reach. It really does expand the Canisius Giving Day reach, because you're tapping into a brand new network of potential donors, because you're getting the Giving Day out in front of all of your social networks and your contacts on email. So people who might not have been aware of Canisius Giving Day going on are going to become aware of it because you're putting it out in front of them. Second, it really does foster trust between tons of potential new donors and Canisius Giving Day. Some people in your network might be hesitant to give if they've never given before to Canisius, but because they see that your name is, you know, tied to the Giving Day, that you're behind it, it might help make that first step to make their first gift to Canisius just a little bit easier, because they see that it's a cause that you personally support. And then, of course, it really is just fun. Like I mentioned before, it's an opportunity for some friendly competition amongst your colleagues, amongst other ambassadors, to really, you know, show your spirit for Canisius Giving Day by being a free agent fundraiser. So now I'm going to dive into exactly how to sign up for the day. So you're going to head to canisiusgivingday.com, and from the drop-down menu at the top right, you're just going to click the fundraisers button. From there, you're going to click on the sign up button and just follow the prompts to create an account. If you have fundraised in the past for Canisius Giving Day, you can log in, or if you've forgotten your password, you can just simply click the reset button and get started that way. So once you're all signed up, you'll then be brought to your free agent fundraiser page. Just want to take note of that link up top that's highlighted in white. That is the link that you'll use to share out your page on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. And so just make sure to keep that handy. And then to start customizing the look and feel of your page, you can just go right ahead and click the Manage Fundraiser button in the top right corner of the page. So once you click that Manage Fundraiser, you'll be brought to your free agent fundraising dashboard, which you'll fill in to create your custom fundraising page for the day. We've broken the dashboard into several easy to complete sections. And the awesome thing is that you don't need to complete this all at once. You can simply save your changes and continue to work on it little by little, or even up on the day up if you want to make updates, so you don't need to complete it all in one sitting. Within the first tab of your dashboard, you can tell the story of why you're fundraising for Canisius. And so here you can add your personal story, set a monetary goal. It does default to $500, but you can change that. You can make it, you know, raise it up, upload a custom image, or even swap it out with a video link. And so this is a great opportunity to use some of that really awesome content that you'll have created that Matt was just talking about. You can use that in your on your page directly. You can pair your fundraiser page link whenever you're sharing out other content. So be sure to think about those as going hand in hand. And the Tell Your Story section, it's just a really wonderful way to illustrate to your potential supporters why Canisius is so important to you, why your support area or program is so important to you, and why you love to support the Giving Day specifically. And for the custom image, again, we encourage you to show your Canisius pride. So consider uploading a picture of you on campus, or rocking some Canisius gear, or any other photo that really holds some special Canisius memories for you. To help you tell your fundraiser story, we've included just a list of brainstorm questions that you can think about, or even write out answers to get started. So these are just a great place to start if you're stumped on what to include on the page itself. And we encourage you to be really specific when illustrating your why you're fundraising for Canisius. So think about, just like Matt was saying, the impact that your program has on students, or how that impact, or how you've had to pivot your program since the pandemic, but you're still having an impact on the community. And then within the second tab of your dashboard, you can add a seed donation to your campaign. So this is a great way to set the example for other donors by donating. It shows that you're committed, and then that they should be too. And it's also just a great way to add some momentum to your personal fundraising campaign. So when donations open, be sure to be the first person to make your gift through your own page, and it'll really just get the ball rolling. On the third tab of your dashboard, you can send personalized email to your family and friends asking for donations. You'll even have the option to upload your contacts and sync your contacts with your email client and send them an email directly from this page. But it also works just as well to copy the link to your public facing page and include that in an email directly. So we include really easy social share buttons, so that way you can just automatically click the Twitter button or the Facebook button, and you can log right into your account and share from there. And just a friendly reminder to be sure that you're using the hashtag Canisius Giving Day when sharing your page, so you can generate a buzz online, and also make sure that it's getting included in the tag board, and that Canisius or your program can retweet it and just share it out. So just kind of creating that larger conversation online. And then the final tab of your dashboard is one of the most important steps to being a free agent fundraiser, and that is thanking your donors. You can let your donors know how their contribution made an impact by sending them an email directly from this page, or if you want to send them a text or a Facebook message, whatever feels most authentic to you, you can still mark them as thanks, just to keep track of your stewardship. And here's just an example of a completed free agent fundraisers page. You'll notice that there's a personal photo as well as a story, a couple of sentences below about why Canisius is special to this free agent fundraiser. All right, so that's the tutorial on how to sign up and some best practices for filling out your dashboard. Just to leave you with a summary of some final tips and tricks to really just drive home the point of telling a compelling personal story. As Matt said, people give to people, so make sure that that's clear, that you have an impact, you're having a direct impact on students with the gift that they're going to make to Canisius Giving Day through your fundraiser. Make a donation first to get the momentum going. And if you're not sure where to start with sharing it out, start by just sharing it with maybe your closest friends or colleagues, asking them to give before sharing it out to a wider net, and spreading the word on social media. Make sure that you're sharing and celebrating your milestones with your supporters. Maybe once you reach $100 or $250, to share that out on social media and let people know that you hit your first milestone and maybe are even increasing your goal. And then, of course, thank your supporters. Gratitude is a low cost and high impact. So you can even get creative with how you're thanking your donors. A fun idea is kind of giving people a shout out on social media if they've given publicly, and letting people know that you're grateful for their specific support. And then, of course, take advantage of the resources in the dashboard, and also be sure that you're looking for the toolkit that will be sent out after this webinar. And lastly, encourage others to join you in fundraising for Canisius Giving Day. So just finally, we are here for you. If you do have any questions, we encourage you to reach out to the amazing Canisius Fund Office with any questions you might have about the day. Their email is listed here, as well as their phone number. And also GiveGab, our support team, is here for you as well. So we have a help center with support articles that are available 24/7, but you can also send us an email with any technical questions, or write in through the little blue chat bubble that's available both on your internal dashboard and on your public facing page. So any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And with that, we're going to answer any questions that you all might have. Let's see, I know a couple questions were already answered.
Katrina, there was one question that came in that I just want to make sure to publicly answer in case anyone missed it. But
yep.
The question was asked, so for the challenge specifically, when we talk about participation, so number of donors, if a donor were to go on and make 10 different gifts, let's just say in the amount of $5 each to count as 10 donors, would they count as 10 or would they count as one? And the answer is that they will count as one. So when gifts are made on Giving Day through the platform, you need a unique email address. So if you made 5 gifts, but you use the same email address, you count as one donor.
That is
And there will be other things put in place so that we can make sure when we're awarding the money that we're truly counting individual donors. And so that there's nothing a little fishy going on, not to imply that anyone would, but it will be fair, I guess, is what I would say. And the other thing that I just wanted to say before we answer a few more questions, is if anyone is watching right now and this is going to be your very first year participating and serving as a lead for your area, reach out to us. Excuse me, sorry. Because we can sit down with you and go through the day 2 more specifically. So most of those who have registered today have used the day before. And so we really just wanted to provide some additional ways to mobilize ambassadors and talk about the content because that's so important. But if this will be your first time, please reach out to us because we can sit with you one-on-one and go through everything on a different level.
awesome. Summer, can I toss you a couple new questions that we're getting?
Absolutely.
Awesome. What is the earliest people can donate through the site and what is the final day that they can donate?
Sure. So we launched what we refer to as VIP giving, and that will open up on February 24th, which is a week prior to Giving Day. And so that is where we would typically email the campus community and encourage their support. And then also we would email some of our top Giving Day donors from prior years and give them the opportunity to be one of the first to make a gift and to get the day started on the right foot. So technically, gifts can be made as early as February 24th. And then the site will stop accepting donations at the end of day on March 7th. One thing that I will say is when we are looking to award this prize money, it will be based on the number of donors each program has when the day concludes. So 11:59 p.m. on March 3rd.
It's a good discussion. Another question is, will there be a minimum amount?
So the minimum amount that is set on the platform is $5.
Awesome. Here's another great question. Who do we contact to get a list of alumni with email and other contact information?
That is a great question. So we have been communicating every Wednesday to those who have opted in to fundraise for their area. And in our weekly communications, that is where we're sharing this type of information. So I would start before I answer the question by saying, if you are not receiving those emails, please let us know. But the correct to answer the question, you could email the Canisius Fund directly. It's just canfund@canisius.edu to put in your list request, and then we will begin working on those and plan to distribute them by February 22nd. And if it's easier, please just feel free to shoot me an email or Matt with any list requests that you have. Every year we provide updated alumni lists to those who need them. So if you need it, please don't hesitate to ask us. We know how important that information is for you on that day specifically.
And Summer, I just want to add to that really quickly. We will be because Giving Day is about a month away, there will be a presence in the Dome just about every day the Dome comes out. So I encourage everyone first to make sure that you are on our kind of opt-in list so that we can be sending you these updates every week. But also we'll have a presence in the Dome, which will give some detail around deadlines. I believe that we're hoping that everyone can be in touch with us by February 9th, which is this coming Tuesday, for list requests. So any alums from your academic program or past supporters, please make sure that if you can get to us by that day, it's really, really important. just because there's a lot on the back end for us that goes into making sure we can get those lists to you on time. So the sooner you put in that request, the better, just to make sure it's on our radar. And then on February 12th, which is, I believe, next Friday, if I'm doing my math correctly, quickly in my head, I was an English communication major, so numbers are not my strong suit. But that will be the deadline that we're putting in place for content for your specific campaign page. So, you know, somebody had asked the question earlier, and I believe it was answered in the chat, you know, does the content for social media, is it kind of the same that you could be using for your specific campaign page? And I would say yes. You know, where you could be showing impact, where you could be highlighting student and alumni success stories, you can incorporate that into your campaign page as well for your department. So that deadline again will be on February 12th. So just to be mindful of that, but those reminders will also be in the Dome, and we'll be communicating weekly as well. So again, if Summer, you know, she shared the canfund@canisius.edu email address, that's kind of the best way to get in touch with us.
Great, 2 more questions. Should folks email canfund@canisius.edu to get a copy of the Ambassador Toolkit? I think you're going to send them out tomorrow morning, but if for some reason somebody doesn't get one, is that the email to go to?
Yes, our plan is to send out a copy of the slides and the toolkit that we've put together tomorrow. When we refer to the toolkit, we have a lot of pre-written social media posts that are program specific, meaning there's like a blank where you would fill in your program content. And we also have a ton of graphics that you're able to use. So what we refer to as social share graphics that you could share on social media that has the date and the logo and PD. And so we will be sharing all of that with you tomorrow. If for some reason you do not receive it though, please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
And lastly, can folks edit their campaign page themselves, or do they need to send campaign copy over to you? And I think this is for the program specifically.
Yeah, so this is a really good question. You cannot edit the copy on the page on your own. So we've been requesting that we receive all of the page content and any images that you might want included by February 12th. What I will say though is you'll provide the copy, we'll lay it out on the page, and then we will send you your link so that you can review how everything looks. And if you receive it back from us and you want to swap out a picture or there's some sort of copy that you need changed, just let us know. We are super responsive and super on top of like making those adjustments for folks. And I will say, so Taj and Katrina do most of the work on the Giving Day site that will go live on the 9th that everyone will see. And they will tell you that I'll be like, oh, we got to change this. Okay, I need to change this even after we've supplied copy, and they're super accommodating. And I understand wanting to change things here and there. So we're also super accommodating. Oh, that's a great question. Yes, we can send you a template so that you can see what it will look like to help you plot out your content. That's actually a great question and a great suggestion. And we will include a link when we push all of this out tomorrow. And please, like any question that you have, please answer. I feel like because we've been planning and executing Giving Day for, this will be our 6th year, we're just so in the thick of it that there are sometimes things that I think would be helpful that we just don't think to articulate because it's so second nature to us. So even when this training session is over, I would encourage you to ask as many questions as you have, call, email. We are here to help you. The page will be fresh. There will not be content on it from last year. If you would like us to send the content over that you supplied last year, we certainly can. So I think that kind of answers the that second question. If you did have a page last year and you'd prefer to look over the copy you submitted and make edits that way, just email us and let us know. And then we will provide you with that content.
Great question.
Yeah, these are really good questions. And just so that everyone knows kind of the timeline from here, tomorrow we will send out all of those resources that we talked about today. And then the first, I guess, like due date for all of you who are participating would be to, and this will all be included in the email, but it will be to let us know what lists you need. So by February 9th, and then provide the content for your page by February 12th. And then everything else, like I said, will be spelled out in that email. But we encourage you to reach out with any questions.
One quick, another push that I want to make for free agent fundraising is because the Canisius Fund team, myself, Summer, Courtney, I believe it was last Giving Day in 2019, we all signed up as free agent fundraisers and had a friendly little competition amongst ourselves.
I lost.
I of whom won the competition. But I will say, it's a fun, wonderful exercise to build some competition among your colleagues. So, reach out to, fellow professors that are working in your department. I would encourage them all, if they would like, to create a free agent fundraising mini campaign for themselves, and be off to the races. Competition among yourselves, but again, that program area that's going to have the most donors at 11:59 will get a wonderful $1,000 prize, which is pretty awesome. So
actually, Mark, I don't know if you're still on, but if you are, I could see the Griff Center having fun with this and competing against one another, because I know you guys are a competitive crew. So just something to think about.
I love it. Get the friendly competition going. It'll definitely make it even more fun. And really, like Summer might have been saying, if any questions do come up, the Canisius Fund team is here for you, but also the GiveGab team is here for you. So, and if you do come to us and we don't know the answer, we'll get you connected to the right folks. But really don't hesitate for any questions that you do have.
Thank you, Katrina and Taj, for joining us today and helping. We love working with you guys, and we're glad that you could be here, and those that we work with on campus could virtually meet you both. I did see, as I was going to wrap it up, that we do have one more question, so let me actually address that real quick. The question is there a way to have our free agent fundraisers and where they are in money donors show automatically on our page? I'm going to defer to Katrina.
Sure. So if I'm understanding this correctly, it's the question is, can we have our free agent fundraisers, their name, their stats show as associated with the program that they are associated with? And the answer to that is no. Free agent fundraiser actually means that, like, you can give a gift that's associated with your name, but the gift can actually be directed anywhere to any program. So for that reason, it's not going to be actually tied to your program page. But we do really encourage you in your free agent fundraiser profile and in all your social media to make it known where you would like their gift to go and why you're fundraising for your program specifically, and encourage them to make their gift when they do make their gift to the program that you're fundraising for. So you can utilize that way. But the beauty of free agent fundraising is that you might get someone who has never given before to make their first gift to an area that means a lot to them, even if it's not necessarily your program. So if they, have a scholarship, they can give there. They can also give to Griff Center. They can give to the dance team. So they can really make that gift to the area that they do feel most connected with. But don't let that hold you back from encouraging them to give to the program that means the most to you.
And I will say, just to piggyback off of that, each support area on their campaign page does have an honor roll of donors. So as people go on and they make a gift in support of All College Honors or wherever it might be, there will be an honor roll that details their name if they prefer to be public, or anonymous if they want to be anonymous, with their dollar amount, and that will tally on that page. So you'll see that as well. So in a sense, the free agent fundraising gives the opportunity to support multiple areas. But there will, as people are supporting your specific support area, there will be that tally right there on that page.
Absolutely. Great point, Matt. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions. So if you do come up with any, you know how to reach us all. But I think for now, it looks like questions have wrapped up. So I think we're good to go.
That
Summer,
sounds great.
anything
Thank
else you want to add?
I don't. I would just reiterate that please do not hesitate to ask us questions. We are here to help you raise as much money for your program as we can on this special day.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all. Thanks everybody for joining. And again, these slides and the recording will be available tomorrow when the toolkit gets sent out. So look for that then. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.